Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be basically showing you how you can use Bootstrap in two different ways. The first way is using the Bootstrap URL, and then the second one I'll show you how you can download and start using Bootstrap. In case you have no idea what Bootstrap is, it is basically a free open source CSS framework that is used to build responsive and mobile first front-end websites. So Bootstrap comes with mostly a lot of ready-made components for interfaces that you can just start right away with using. So let's dive right into the video. The first way of using Bootstrap is we're just gonna go open our browser and go to getbootstrap.com. So once you're on the Bootstrap homepage, you go to Docs, and then right at the beginning you have Quick Start. And it says create a new index.html file in your project root. And then when you scroll down, you can see that the CDN links are basically here. So now we are going to do exactly how it said. So I'm just going to open my file explorer. I navigate to desktop. So I'm going to create a new folder and I call it Bootstrap Demo. I press enter. And then I'm going to open this Bootstrap demo in Visual Studio Code. So let me open Visual Studio Code. So when you open Visual Studio Code, you just go to open folder. Then we navigate to desktop and then open the folder that we created. Let's maximize it. So now inside the Bootstrap demo, I'm going to create a file and I'm going to call it index.html. And then I'm going to press Shift exclamation mark, which is a meta abbreviation, and I'll press enter. So that is our HTML structure. So I'm just gonna add some word here. Welcome to Bootstrap. So we right click and open with Live Server. So this is our simple page. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to Bootstrap and then I'm gonna navigate to download. But then I'm going to choose CDN. So I'm just going to copy this and then come to my file just below the title and I paste it there. So I have the Bootstrap CSS and then the JS. So let's just cut the JS for now. Now, how do we tell that Bootstrap is linked on your project? So the first way is we can just use a random Bootstrap classes. Bootstrap comes with a number of classes. So I'm just going to try. I normally like testing with the button class. So I'll just click on button. Welcome. And then I'll give it a class. If you're not sure of the class, go back to the documentation and then just search for buttons. Sorry. Okay, it's here. So you search for buttons and then you can see the button classes are here. So there is button type, BTN primary, which is blue, secondary, which is blue. So I'm just going to copy this line and then I go back to my project and then I'll paste it there. So then let's go back to our project and see, you can see the button is right there working. So now this method of using Bootstrap via the CDN link needs you to have internet connection. If you don't have internet connection, it's not going to work. So you need to make sure that you have internet. Let's remove this. And when you remove this, you come back here, you see the button, the styling is gone. That is the power of Bootstrap. So the second way is we're just gonna go back here, scroll back up and go to download. And then here you have compiled CSS and JavaScript. So you're just gonna click on download. So it's downloaded for you, Bootstrap version 5.2.3. So after that, you're just gonna open it in folder, right click and extract it. So after extracting it, it's here. So you have the Bootstrap files there, which is basically CSS and JavaScript. So this is what we are going to need. So we're gonna just copy this folder and then go to our project folder that we created on the desktop, which is Bootstrap demo. And then we paste it there. So after pasting it, we can simply rename it to just Bootstrap. The folder is open. Let's close it and then try again. So now we have this Bootstrap. it has CSS files that contains all the stylings, and then it has the JavaScript files that contains all the events. So we're gonna open again our Visual Studio Code. So now from here you can see we have the Bootstrap files here. What we are going to do is we are going to just link it the way we link CSS, and then navigate to Bootstrap CSS, and then let's first comment on this line, and then we're gonna say bootstrap.min, which is the minified version .css. So now we have the CSS here. So let's open this file again with live server. So we still have welcome to Bootstrap. So now we are going to test it by uncommenting on this. So you can see our primary button is back. So you can try out other things like cards, for example. Let me search cards. So when you're in cards, you have examples of cards right here, which you can just start with and then customize. So I'm just going to copy this, come to my work, paste it there, and then you can see the card is right there. So Bootstrap has some other classes that are really awesome. For example, we can embed all this in a container. So I'm just going to create a div. I call it a class container, and then I'll cut this card and then put it inside the container. So you see that before it was right here, but now it is in the container, which makes it move a bit from the margins. So this has an image. We don't have an image in this case, so we just have the card like that. So this is how you can add cards. And then another way is you can just add navigation by just coming here to components, and then you come to navbar. So you look at the examples available and you just copy this piece of code, which is the navigation, depending on how you want it. And then we can just come within the body and paste our navigation there. So when you go back, you see now our document has a navigation, which is actually by default responsive. Now it is not showing any responsiveness here because I did not link the Bootstrap JavaScript. So when you click on this, you see there's no event happening. So now to resolve that issue, I'm just gonna go back and then scroll down just below the body. I'm going to link the JavaScript. So I'll just say script bootstrap JS, and I choose bootstrap.min.js. So after this, let's go back and test it. So when I do this, you can now see the event is taking action. So you can customize this as good as you want. For example, let's also embed the navigation in a container. So I'm just gonna do div.container. The spelling, make sure that the spelling is right. .container, and then I paste back. So from here you realize that also the navigation has moved this side. So to remove this funny background, I'm just gonna go back and remove this BG Lite class and let it just be the way it is. So basically this is how you can get started with Bootstrap. This is how you can download Bootstrap and use it in your project. So I hope this video was helpful. And this second option, normally you don't have internet connection, it will work for you. But the first way that we use the CDN, using CDN, you need an internet connection. Since you can see these are links, once you don't have internet, your Bootstrap will not work. But then the second option is what I always recommend, especially if you don't have efficient access to internet. So basically that's how you can use Bootstrap and link it to your project. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.